Project 2025. Why does it matter? Now, what we're going to do in this demonstration, we're going to look at it from both perspectives. We're going to look at it from the Democrats' perspective. We're going to look at it from the Republican perspective. That way, both perspectives get a chance to get their point across. And you all know me. What I'll do is I'll give my commentary on Project 2025 the best of my ability. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, when we think of Project 2025, many of us don't know exactly what is Project 2025. Many of us don't even know who came up with the idea. Many people believe that it's Trump. Many people that believe that it's Trump that came up with Project 2025, and he's pushing the Project 2025. However, did you know that over 100 conservative groups, 100 or more conservative groups came up with Project 2025? Salute to the chat, salute to the replay gang, salute to all my moderators, salute Short Stack. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute. Now, this Project 2025 has been around since the 80s, okay? And you'll hear this from both sides. You'll hear the Democrat side as well as the Republican side both mention that Project 2025 has been around long before Trump got into office. So what does that mean? That right there means that Trump did not come up with Project 2025. It was already in existence. All right? Keep that in the front of your mind. So before y'all comment and try to come for me, please do not come for me and say Trump came up with Project 2025. Trump did not come up with Project 2025. It's been around since the 80s. 100 or more conservative groups came up with Project 2025. Let's get into both sides. I'm going to give y'all the perspective from both sides. All right? From the Democrat side as well as the Republican side. And then we're going to chop it up. Let's go.
Authoritarian form of the U.S. government.
What is Project 2025?
An ultra-conservative agenda.
The fascist playbook.
Project 2025 is a new paradigm.
Trump has distanced himself from Project 2025.
Trump is Project 2025.
The two words. Project 2025.
Now, he said Trump is Project 2025. How can he be Project 2025 if Project 2025 was already in existence before he took office?
2025. It's a name you'll be hearing a lot of over the coming months, a hot topic of the US presidential campaign. And of course, no relation to... So what exactly is it?
Project 2025 is the brainchild of the Heritage Foundation, which is a super conservative think tank that rose to prominence in the 1980s and then fell...
Stop right there. Let me backtrack. Project 25. Let's backtrack and listen to the lady yourself. Listen to what she says Project 2025 is. It has nothing to do with Trump. Salute, Miss Parker. Salute, Miss Parker. Please listen to what she says Project 2025 is. So we don't want to keep saying Trump came up with Project 2025. Trump is Project 2025. Please listen to what Project 2025 is.
And of course, no relation to... So what exactly is it?
Project 2025 is the brainchild of the Heritage Foundation, which is...
The brainchild of the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation.
Of course, no relation to... So what exactly is it?
Project 2025 is the brainchild of the Heritage Foundation, which is a super conservative think tank that rose to prominence in the 1980s.
When? In the 1980s. By who? The conservatives. When? The 1980s. By who? The conservatives.
And then fell out of favour and has since remade itself really in Donald Trump's image.
The core of the vision is mandate, a 920-page blueprint on how federal power can be used for things like shredding climate goals, criminalising pornography, deploying the military to deport non-citizens en masse, and limiting access to abortion even further.
What?
So let's stop right there. Let's chop it up. The abortion. You know, like I said, many people go after Trump when he speaks on abortion. Many people go after Trump when he speaks on deportation. But if you listen, basically, even Donald Trump is basically really reinforcing what was already laid out for us. Now, it's not Donald Trump's fault that whether it was Republican president or Democrat presidents that got into office, it's not Trump's fault that neither side pushed the Project 2025. It had already been there. See? It had already been there. And it has to do with different things. Abortion, deportation. Now, when it comes to abortion, that's always going to be a sensitive topic. That's always going to be a sensitive topic when it comes to abortion, when it comes to women's rights, period. Anything that has to do with women, it's always going to be a sensitive topic. And I understand. When it comes to deportation, that's always going to be a sensitive topic because you are separating families. But the last time I checked, America's history, I'm not talking about before America, I'm talking about America's history was based on what? America's history was based on separating families. But let me guess. It's okay when the millions of black families were separated, right? But it's a problem. It's a problem when non-black families get separated. Nobody is raising a fit about black families that were separated. Salute Snoopy Tremaine. So why all of a sudden now is many of y'all focusing on and having a problem with the deportation of illegal immigrants? Black families were brought here by force, and black families were broken up by force. See, we were brought here by force. We didn't want to come here. And for those of us that were already here, we were living in peace and harmony. We wasn't bothering nobody. But now the non-blacks are being deported. Now blacks, and this is one of our issues as black people. We are so worried about everybody else and the injustice and any and everything that is done to everybody else when it's time for us, those same people that we will fight for, those same people that benefit off of the civil rights that black people push, those same people will turn their noses up at us. So that's a food for thought. We are in a battle. We are at war. And we've been at war for a long time. Long time. Now, if we just get out of our feelings and really, really look at Project 2025, believe it or not, Project 2025 benefits black people more than it benefits any other race of people. And I'll get into that later on.
Project 2025 does is put the substance behind Donald Trump's showmanship, and part of that means quite detailed plans to dismantle the institutions of American democracy.
The cornerstone of the plan involves a radical reshaping of the US government, disbanding the Departments of Commerce and Education, and replacing civil servants across the board with political loyalists, recruiting MAGA-friendly applicants from a proposed far-right version of LinkedIn.
That is chilling, and somehow only slightly worse than regular LinkedIn.
One of the people behind the project recently made headlines for saying this.
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution.
This is one of the people that is behind Project 2025. No, it's not the orange man, Donald Trump. But this is one of the people that's behind Project 2025.
And replacing civil servants across the board with political loyalists, recruiting MAGA-friendly applicants from a proposed far-right version of LinkedIn.
That is chilling, and somehow only slightly worse than regular LinkedIn.
One of the people behind the project recently made headlines for saying this.
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Causing many to turn their attention to the group's plans.
They call it Project 2025, and it is terrifying.
Have you read it?
I was so shocked reading it.
Look up 2025 agenda.
The Democrats are keen to link Project 2025 directly to Trump. Kamala Harris today hitting out.
He and his extreme Project 2025 agenda. Can you believe they put that thing in writing?
Trump is trying to distance himself from it, claiming,
I know nothing about Project 2025,
but
I disagree with some of the things they're saying.
Yet,
Stop right there. I do believe that he's lying when he says he don't know nothing about it. I do believe that Trump knows a lot about Project 2025. However, he did mention there are some things in it that he disagree with. So right there, that lets you know that he's lying as far as when he says he don't know nothing about Project 2025. How can you disagree with some things in Project 2025 but claim to know nothing about it? So this is the bad and the ugly side of Donald Trump.
I wish them luck.
and curiously,
I have no idea who is behind it.
Donald will be surprised to learn the people behind it are some of his closest advisors, people who worked in his first administration and are expected to serve in his second.
The whole big part of Project 2025 is actually going into the apparatus and start to take apart the administrative state brick by brick.
Many of Project 2025's plans are deeply unpopular, so Trump, as much as he might align with them ideologically, doesn't want to talk about them publicly.
So if Project 2025 comes to pass, just how different will America look?
Welcome to the project. We're live from the lands of the Kulin Nation, and to help break down Project 2025, Bill Wyman from the website The Politics joins us now. Bill, look, there was a lot of talk going into the first Trump presidency about this kind of thing, that Trump would dismantle the US government and leave it in ruins, but look, it survived. Is this just more fear-mongering from his political opponents?
Well, it is and it isn't. And I think what happened in the first Trump presidency is they came in unprepared. He's obviously a pretty incompetent administrator. It was unfocused. He kept hiring and firing people. And in fact, they actually didn't get too much done, though of course he did do some very consequential things. And now this time, I think the thinking is, hey, let's hit the ground running. And there is some debate as to whether this is a Trump initiative or isn't or whatever, but it is clear that the forces in the right are ready to go to work on the very first day if he does happen to get reelected.
But Bill, I think a lot of people will look at this plan and say, okay, Trump wants to install his own people in government, but surely that's what every single other politician does when they get into office. So
Stop right there. Stop right there. For those of you that says to me, but Shank, Trump wants to get rid of everybody and Trump wants to bring in his own people. Remember, I gave the demonstration on Trump cleaning up the DOJ, Trump cleaning up the FBI. Many of you responded and said, but Shank, he only wants to bring in his own people. As the young lady just said, isn't that what all politicians does? Salute Pretty Problem Niche. Salute Pretty Problem Niche. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute Marie. Salute to the chat. Isn't that what all politician does? I said this before. If I was to give up my platform to any one of you, would you keep around my moderators or would you bring in your own moderators? You might keep around a few of my moderators, but you're going to bring in your own moderators. So we cannot get mad at Trump just because Trump wants to bring in new people. You can't get mad at a man that wants to bring in his own people. He has that right.
So why is it any different?
It's really true. I mean, I have to say this story, it's at once I don't want to say it's at once overblown and underblown. It's a little bit overblown in the sense that the Heritage Foundation, which is the genesis of this, has been doing this for a long time, for decades.
Remember, y'all, it's the Heritage Foundation that's behind Project 2025. Run and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that Project 2025 is not by Donald Trump. Project 2025 is by 100 or more conservative groups from the Heritage Foundation. Run and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that you heard it on Shank Rock's platform. Better yet, share this demonstration to your favorite content creator. Y'all don't got no problem with sharing other content creators' stuff to me. Now let me see y'all share my demonstrations to content creators as well as your Facebook page. Let's go.
So every 4 years they say, oh, if the Republicans get in, here's a blueprint of things that they can do. Now, the reason it's crazier this time is twofold. One is that the actual ideas in it are radical even by Heritage Foundation standards. And people should know the Heritage Foundation is a right-wing think tank in Washington that has gone progressively more deranged over the past 8 to 10 years. But then the second thing is that Trump is seen, for all his self-braggadocio, I think he's seen behind the scenes as sort of a pliable, incompetent, buffoonish figure that people can use to pursue their own agendas. I think this is most famously evidenced by his choice of Supreme Court justices. It's obvious that Donald Trump has no actual feelings about legal ideas at all. He's obviously someone who would have supported, for example, a woman's right to choose for most of his career. So he actually doesn't have anything invested in it. And because of this, people think they can get away with, you know, in this case, something close to murder.
And that's facts. See, with Trump, have y'all ever noticed, and I've said this several times before as well, when it's an unpopular person, it's easy. It's easy for a rumor about this unpopular person. It's easy to get a rumor started about the unpopular person. A person that people perceive to be a clown, a person that, you know what I'm saying, people perceive to be a joke. It's easy to get a rumor about that person started. However, a person that everybody likes, you know what I mean? It's going to be hard to get a rumor started about that person that everybody likes. Why? Because everybody likes this person. Now, we know a lot of people don't like Trump. A lot of people got a problem with Trump. So it's easy. It's easy as 1, 2, 3 to get a rumor started about Donald Trump. The rumor, Project 2025. And I just showed y'all, Project 2025 was not started by Donald Trump. It was started by the Heritage Foundation, 100 or more conservative groups. Okay? Share this. Like I said, and I'm going to say it again. Y'all quick to send me content creators stuff on things that I already know. Now share this demonstration to them content creators. Share this demonstration to your Facebook and Instagram. Y'all ain't going to do it. Stop playing with the old man. regardless of what you may feel about me, regardless of what you may think about me, I always bring y'all the real. You can never say Shank be bringing BS. You can never say Shank be bringing lies. I always bring y'all the real. Now, hold on, because there's more. There's more, and I'm not going to hold y'all long. I know y'all say, Shank, you always say you ain't going to hold us long. I just want us to get to the bottom of the rumors about Donald Trump. Like I said, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly with Donald Trump. However, if it's not his charge, if he's not guilty of something, then he's not guilty of something. Now, in the 34 felony convictions, right? The 34 felony convictions, he's guilty of that. But just because he's guilty of the 34 felony convictions, that don't mean that he's guilty of everything else that people say about him. And I'm not one to, just because a person is guilty of this, I'm not one to automatically say if he's guilty of this, then he got to be guilty of everything else. Salute Benjamin. Benjamin says, is Shank actually smoking crank? Give me a minute, y'all. Why does Project 2025 matter? That's the next question. Why does it matter? To some people, it don't matter. But to some people, it does matter. Benjamin says, listen, bro, just say something nice about my president because he's going to change everything and make things right the way they should be. We can't trust. Benjamin, if you don't get your funky ass up out of my chat, if you don't take your funky ass Benjamin Franklin ass up out of my chat, if you listen to the demonstration, if you pay attention to me, all I've been saying about Trump is good. Take your funky ass Benjamin. Moderators, get Benjamin funky ass up out of here. I done told y'all about that. Don't come in my chat and speak before you know exactly what's going on. Don't you come in my chat. You can disagree with me. That's different. But don't come in my chat talking what you don't know. Now, this whole demonstration, I've been talking good about Trump. Now, I gave some bad and ugly on him. But don't come in my chat thinking you know what's going on without first listening. Moderators, get Benjamin funky ass up out of here. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. All right, let me see what Dr. Umar has to say. Now, once again, Project 2025 was created back in the 80s. Donald Trump wasn't in office. Project 2025 was started by 100 or more conservative groups belonging to the Heritage Foundation. Trump, no. Now, like I said, I do believe that Trump know exactly what Project 2025 is about, but it's a proven fact that Donald Trump did not start Project 2025. So please, everybody, please, when you talk to me about Project 2025, please don't tell me that Donald Trump started Project 2025 because he didn't. Please, please. Donald Trump did not start Project 2025. Once again, in my opinion, I think that Project 2025 will do the country some good. I don't agree with everything that's in Project 2025. I don't. But I don't agree with everything in anything. I don't agree with everything. Nobody agrees with everything. But I do believe Project 2025 will do America some good. Remember, this was put into place back in the 80s. Okay, now you're changing your tone. Sounds more like what I want to hear. Thank you. Benjamin, I thought I told my moderators to get your funky Benjamin Franklin kike carrying, discovering electricity ass out of my chat. But as I said before, Benjamin, and you probably haven't heard, because you too has been skipping my political class when it comes to Donald Trump, along with any other presidents. I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't see Donald Trump no different from I see Obama. You got the good, the bad with Obama. You got the good, the bad, the ugly with Biden. You had the good, the bad, the ugly with all the other presidents. So why we can't accept the good, the bad, and the ugly from Donald Trump? Salute Capricorn Chronicles. Salute Capricorn Chronicles.
Dr. Umar, welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Serious thing, right? All right, so we're gonna get right into it. What is this big obsession with, like, this big push of Trump support from black people? What's going on here, Fighter?
Couple things. I think the reason why Donald Trump is getting more support from black people, and I would not be surprised if this would be the first election since the 1930s that black people voted more for a Republican than a Democrat. So history might be made in November. History might be made.
And history was made in November. Now, according to Dr. Umar, he said this might be the biggest election, or this might be the election where more black people voted Republican since the 1930s than they voted Democrat. I mean, let's be honest, and let's call a spade a spade. Even black Democrats, along with the whole world, everybody knows that the Democrats is black people's plantation. Everybody knows that the Democrats did what? The Democrats only use black people. And if you go back to the late 1800s, go back, do your homework, go back to the late 1800s. The majority of Republicans were black men. The majority of Republicans were black men. So in one, it's strange, but then in another aspect, we were already voting Republican until the Democrats showed up at our doorstep with the whole purpose of tricking us. But let's get back to Dr. Umar.
But don't get it twisted. The black bourgeoisie is on their job and they out there. Yeah, so the black bourgeoisie ain't gonna go easy because they know if Trump wins, they're done. No more contracts, no more set aside. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, the black bourgeoisie is only fighting for their own personal stake. They don't care about black folks. And the Democrats, if you can't deliver the black vote, what good are you? So they all going if they lose. They're not fighting for us, they fighting for themselves. Couple reasons why black folks may go Republican in November. Black people may go Republican in November. Number one, I think they're finally getting disenchanted with the Democrats. I think it's finally beginning to seep in. I think a lot of the analyses that are being made by Black political thinkers, including myself, I think Black people are really starting to see that we've been had.
Stop right there for all those funky Black Democrats. For all you funky Black Democrats, you heard it out of Dr. Umar's mouth. We are waking up. I don't know why y'all still want to be Democrats. If there are any Black Democrats that's listening, please explain to me why y'all funky asses still wants to be Democrat. Now listen to Dr. Umar now, because he breaks it down. Let me backtrack for the funky Black Democrats. Listen.
Including myself, I think Black people are really starting to see that we've been had. To have voted this way for 90 years and got nothing out of it, it's time for a change of some sort. That's number one.
For us to be voting Democrat for 90 years and hasn't gotten anything out of it. What do y'all got to say about that? Let's go, Dr. Umar.
Number two, I think a lot of Black people are attracted to Donald Trump's unapologetic disposition. He's very unapologetic. He don't go off cue cards. Completely different from Barack Obama and Joe Biden.
Did you hear him? Did y'all hear him? Now, this ain't only for funky Black Democrats. This is for funky Americans, period. I wouldn't care if you not Democrat. If you don't understand why, not just Black people, but if you can't understand why Black people is voting for Trump, why they voted for Trump, if you can't understand why white people voted for Trump, he don't go off the cue cards. How many times have we seen Biden mess up because he was falling asleep? Huh? Come on, y'all. Come on, man. We got to see Donald Trump for who Donald Trump is. He's not perfect. He's not my personal savior. He's not my hero. But he is my president. And I expect him to deliver as a president. Nothing more, nothing less.
You follow me? For a lot of Black people, even though he's a racist, he's a breath of fresh air because he says what he wants to say. The entertainment aspect of Donald Trump is winning Blacks. Number three, Donald Trump claims to care about the economic state of Black America, which he doesn't, but he's openly saying, I'm going to do something about the economics in the Black community. He said that the first term, it ain't do nothing, right? So he's not going to do nothing, but he's speaking directly to Black America where Joe Biden is not.
Do y'all see it? Do y'all see it? Trump has said what he was going to do for Black people. Now, according to Dr. Umar, he didn't do anything for Black people his first time around. Well, let's see what he's going to do this second time around. Now, one thing he said he called Donald Trump a racist. But, I mean, come on, y'all. How many, and let's be honest, how many Black people are racist? How many Mexicans are racist? How many Caucasians? How many Jews? How many Hispanics? How many Asians are racist? There are a lot of races out here from every nationality. And I always said, in my opinion, it's nothing wrong with having love for your race. It's nothing wrong with you having love for your race. We say Black pride. We say Black pride all the time. That's the love of your race. However, when you start discriminating, when you start treating people bad, and when you start holding people, let me backtrack. When you start discriminating people, when you start discriminating against people because they race, then that's the problem. But ain't nothing wrong with being racist. It's not. It's just you love your race.
And I think that's why he's going to carry a lot of votes, especially Black men. Especially Black men, because what is the Black man's biggest issue? Earning money. Biden ain't even talking about it. So I do think that Donald Trump, for the first time in almost 100 years, he may carry the Black vote. Now, I'm still not voting for neither one of them. And the reason why is they're both racist. Neither one has a track record of helping black folks. Joe Biden got this migrant crisis coming in where he's basically trying to wash out the black with the brown, and they are making headway. To see him take care of people who are not even citizens, while we got homeless blacks, disabled blacks out there, veterans who not get what they're supposed to, I can't support that crap. To watch him take care of the Native Americans and the homosexuals and the Asian hate bill and all this, and billions to Ukraine and billions to Israel, and not do nothing for me, he can't get my vote. But when I look at Trump, I look at the fact that he signed more death warrants, federal death warrants, his last term than any president since slavery. And when I look at the fact that he wants to give the police complete immunity, they're killing us now. Once they get complete immunity, you can't even question what they did. You know how many black folks are going to die on these streets? So
Now, we're going to build off of that. Now, that's one thing about Trump that I'm not having also. To give these cops immunity, I mean, they're already slaughtering us, and the cops have been slaughtering us for as long as the police has been established. Now, Trump wants to give them immunity. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. However, whether Trump is in office or not, black people still face police brutality. So I disagree with Trump when he talks about giving these cops immunity. I hope you all got the basics. All right. I hope you all got the basics out of this demonstration. Trump did not start Project 2025. All right. Salute everybody. I'll see y'all on the next demonstration.